You know, Ross, we almost forgot about the white wine you have in your hand. And in fact, I did forget about that you had a different wine in your hand.
Well, in fact, I didn't forget about it because it's just delicious, and it's kind of my favorite wine. You know, we're here, it's about midday,
Right.
And this is a great midday wine, and it is our 2022 Little Sister Sauvignon Blanc. It's North Coast.
North Coast, okay.
It's often Russian River Valley. In this case, it's two different vineyards by the same grower.
Okay.
And he just didn't have enough fruit for us from his Russian River Valley
Okay.
vineyard. So we augmented it with some fruit from Mendocino. And Sauvignon Blanc that tips its
Right.
hat to the French. It has a very
Okay.
Sancerre-like character.
Yeah, if you could lift it up there to the camera, and we can get a really good look at that right there. And you said that's the Little Sister Sauvignon Blanc, right?
Yes.
And wow, it looks terrific, and I'm sure it tastes terrific, as you're saying. So, wow, that is great. And once again, right here in the neighborhood, is where you got these grapes?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, it's really great when a winemaker kind of stays in their own region, just because it gives an authenticity, right, to their wines that, you know, I think that, hey, we farm grapes from our home,
Yes.
right, to make our wine. You know,
there are two philosophies about winemaking, and you know, one is, you know, having exclusively estate fruit, and that is in fact grounded in place. And you know, the small fortune, large fortune joke would suggest that that's the best way.
Sure.
And you know, since we didn't have a large fortune, we're grateful that our neighbors have grapes that we can purchase, and we can still be grounded in place.
Right.
And so, to your point, yes, having neighborhood wine does give us a sense of authenticity,
Right.
and it's an authenticity that we covet. You know,
Right.
we
Yeah.
feel, you know, happy to be
Right.
in this place with that makes and grows incredible wine.
Well, it helps you promote Sonoma County, right, and Russian River Valley, and some great wines are made here, and some award-winning wines, some #1 wines in the United States. And so, why would you not want to stay with your, I guess you could say, the home turf, right?
Well, and from a more practical standpoint, when we began this, we had 3 little children.
Oh.
And so having wines that were scattered all over Hellengon, excuse
Right.
the expression, meant that we would have been less time with our family.
Right.
And family's always been the primary driver.
Sure.
And so having vineyards close was very practical, because
Right,
we
right.
could, you know, have a family, be
Right.
at home,
Yeah.
and not travel far to see how things were going.
Now, the thing I've noticed with, you know, and there's other winemakers that buy their grapes, you know, and maybe don't grow them directly on their estate or what have you. To me, I think that also takes the pressure off, where you can focus on making really good wines. Do you feel that is kind of a good step, in the sense of you're getting those grapes, you're not worrying about the farming aspect? I mean, you're going to buy the grapes, and obviously you're checking that out, but it lets you really focus on the wines you're going to make with those grapes.
Well, you know, it's a sequential process. So you grow the grapes and then you make the wine. So it's not like, you know, you're distracted from winemaking when you're growing grapes. In fact, growing is a part of winemaking. And so we are very involved in the vineyards that produce our fruit. We're very involved in this vineyard. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that's true because of the sequential nature of winemaking. But it does free our time up,
Right,
you know,
right.
during growing season a lot more, to
Sure.
have only one vineyard to manage.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're not, you know, worried about the whole farming aspect, and then you're going and buying the grapes that you need for what you're going to do that year. So that's great. Ross, thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, I think you invited me because we're at your place. So now tell everybody how they get to your winery, where it's located.
So the first step would be go to halleckvineyard.com, and that's a vineyard without an S.
Okay.
HALLECKVINEYARD.com.
Okay.
And that's how you book a tasting.
Okay.
And we are in West Sebastopol.
Right.
And if you go book a tasting, it's by appointment only. You'll get directions.
Okay, all right, easy enough. Yeah.
And you can also buy online. You can't buy much of our wine online, but if
Okay.
you want to just try it, There are a few selections there that you can purchase online.
Okay, so there you go, Halleck Vineyard, and come and check it out here in West County, as they call it, Sonoma County. This is just outside of Sebastopol, and you've got beautiful vineyards and beautiful views. You will love it here, and the wine is award-winning and #1 in the United States. Cheers, Ross.
Cheers.
Thank you.